Hey YouTube, welcome back. This is Sensei Sean Harvey, and today we're going to be talking about why some people make it to black belt and why some people don't. Why some people are more successful and why some people are less successful. Okay? So this is very important. Okay? And if this is going to be valuable to you, keep listening. Remember to subscribe and remember to hit the like button. Actually, smash it. Okay? Now, I got some notes here to help me to stay on track. And one of the biggest mistakes that I made is that sometimes, right, or most times, the reason why most people are not successful is because they're thinking about exiting before they accomplish their goal, right? So let's say, for instance, you entered into a relationship with someone, right? And then they told you that, you know what, in about 3 months' time, I'm not sure if I'm going to be here. You know what? How do you think that relationship is going to work out? You think you're going to be able to reach your goal? So if you're thinking quitting before you get started, you can see why you're not going to reach your goal. So for those people who are successful, they're successful is because they're 100% committed to the goal. So the number one thing that you want to do is when you join the Successful Kids program, if you're a parent, you put your child in the program. Or if you're going to be a student in my adult program, in my adult teen program, you want to set the goal of black belt and you want to be committed to being a black belt. You don't want to be saying, "Oh, I'm not too sure," or "I don't know." You don't want that mindset, all right? Because that is not going to help you to reach your goal. Okay, that was a side note. All right. So remember to take notes if you haven't started. And so here's the first reason why people fall short, okay, or why they don't reach their goals, okay. And so the number one reason, or I don't know if it's number one reason, but it's the first one I'm talking about, is that their belief system has an error in it, right? Okay, I know that when I was trying to, or when I was going after the goals that I was going after, every time I fell short, it wasn't because I didn't have the capability to do it. It wasn't because I didn't have the IQ to do it. It wasn't because I wasn't intelligent enough. It's that because my belief system had errors in it that whoever taught me my belief systems, or if I taught it to myself or somebody taught it to me through conversation, they gave me some errors in my belief system. Okay? Now, one way that we program ourselves in error is through that events that happen to us. Okay, so any event that happens to us, especially the events that were negative, right, to us, right, is what forms our beliefs about ourselves and how we see the world. Okay, so that we have to understand is that we put meaning to events, especially those negative events, right, that happen to us, and we believe those meanings to be true. And when we believe those meanings to be true, they form our belief about ourselves and the world around us. Okay, now that is going to be an error. Okay, all right. And so here's some errors of what we can say sometimes, right? And the error could be that I wasn't born with the natural talent to do it. So the only way that I can do, and this is for in the context of martial arts, right? That the reason why I didn't reach my goal was because I wasn't born with the natural talent to do it. That's an error in your belief system. Okay. The next error in your belief system is that you reaching a black belt has nothing to do with whether or not martial art runs in your family. Okay. That again is an error in your belief system. Okay. Now, what you got to remember is that your belief system is how you see the world. Okay. The next thing is that there's another error is that it has nothing to do with how physically strong you are. Some people say, I gotta get fit, I gotta get ready before I even join your program, right? That is an error in your belief system. Okay? And it doesn't matter what body type you have either. Okay? You can get involved, right? You just gotta change your belief system, okay? Because there's an error in it. Okay. The next thing, it has nothing to do with whether you are young or old. Some people say, I'm too old. No, that's an error in your belief system. Okay. So, and the reason why you have that error is because of an event that happened, right? That you probably wish never happened, right? You probably embarrassed or you got hurt or something bad happened. And you put a meaning to that event, okay? And then you believe that meaning to be absolutely true, and then you start living that life. And then that became your belief, right? And that's all you see now, right? And another error in your belief is that it has nothing to do whether you're a girl or a boy. Some people are, female, male. It has nothing to do with that. I've seen people do jujitsu with one leg. I've seen people do jujitsu who are deaf. I'm seeing people who do jujitsu blind. I've seen people do jujitsu and missing a hand. See, so you can see that the reason why we're not reaching our goals, it has nothing to do with your attributes, your IQ, or how intelligent you are, or what natural talent you have. It has to do with your belief in you have an error in your belief system. Okay. Number two is that we don't understand principles or truths. Now, this was a big one for me. Okay. And this is the reason why you want to be in a program or be around someone who can tell you some truths about life. Okay? Now, what a truth is, and a truth is with Truth, a truth, right? So a truth is something that doesn't change with time. Okay? Now, something that is true changes depending on the situation. Now, I'll give you an example. What is true was that it was true that last night I was sleeping in my bed. That was true, right? But right now I'm sitting here talking to you and helping you to reach your goal because you're blessed to be successful. Okay? So this is true now. So it was true that I was in my bed last night sleeping, but now it's true that I'm sitting here talking to you. See? So things that are true are different from things that are truths. A truth is something that never changes. So once you understand those principles and you understand a truth and you start to live by those truths, you are going to be highly successful. Trust me. Okay? The third thing is not realizing, and this is a good one. The third thing is not realizing that having something is an output and not an input. Now, this was big for me because I made this error, right? This is all errors, right? And the reason why they're errors is because they were taught probably in error, or you taught yourself in error because you didn't have the knowledge to know the difference. So if you want to have something, so in this case, if you want to have a black belt, right, then having a black belt is not an input. I'm not going to give you a black belt, right? So if I give you a black belt, now you're going to start to do things that a black belt will do, and now you'll be a black belt. Well, it doesn't work that way, okay? The only way it works is that you're going to have to be doing the things that a black belt will do so you can have the thing that a black belt will have because of what you were doing. Okay, so now you see why a lot of people don't get to black belt, or a lot of people are not successful. It's because they think that having something is the input. So they're waiting for someone to give them a black belt before they start to be one. Okay, and then the fourth thing is that we don't seek mentors. Most people do not value mentors, and I made that mistake. I always wanted to do things myself. I always wanted to figure things out myself. But see, here's the problem with that. You're wasting time. Okay? And we don't have no time. Okay? What you have to understand, the value of success is not how long it took you. I mean, if it takes you 20 years to learn a concept like like a concept like having something is an output and not an input. It took you 20 years to learn that, right? You just wasted 20 years. You were struggling for 20 years. Now, if I learned that within 2 years, my quality of living is going to be so much more than someone that took 20 years. So success is not really based on, that you got it, success is based on how fast you understood it and how fast you learned it, so that you can increase your productivity while you're alive, because you don't know how long you're going to be living for. Okay, so that's why it's so important to get a mentor that can help you learn things so much faster than if you did it yourself. It's called leveraging, right? So that's why putting your child in the Success for Kids program is going to help your child to learn these concepts so much faster. Okay, now if you want to get your child into a successful program, which I'm sure that you want, because I'm sure that you're nodding your head realizing this is some powerful information I'm sharing with you. And if you think it's powerful, smash that like button and remember to subscribe. Okay? Now here, I've got a very important question for parents. Okay? Here's the question, right? If I can remove all the errors in your child's belief system, right, and show them or give them the principles, right, and the right belief system, and how they can achieve the goals and achieve a black belt and achieve other goals in their life, would you think that would be extremely valuable to you as a parent? I'm sure you're nodding your head. And if you're nodding your head, say yes, because I can hear you. Okay? Right? Now, if you said yes, this is what I want you to do. I want you to send me an email. And the email is bermudajujitsu@hotmail.com. Okay? So that's Bermuda, right? And jujitsu spelled JUJITSU@hotmail.com. Send me an email and we'll get you enrolled in our 2-month beginners program. Now, the reason why it's 2 months is because we want our students and the parents to qualify for our main program. We only want our parents and who are very serious about helping their children to become highly successful in life. We really want to become a black belt and help them to get better beliefs that will lead them to success, right? And avoid the mistakes and the errors that I made. Okay. Another way that you can get a hold of us, you can visit my Facebook page, which is Bermuda Small Circle Jiu-Jitsu, and you can look us up there, and you can send us a message there. Okay, so let's go over this because it's getting a little long. So remember, the reason why most people are not successful or they don't reach their goals is because of their belief system. There's errors in it. Okay. Because of the meanings that they put to negative events that happen to them, they actually believe it to be true. And so because they believe it to be true, they start living that person, and then they kept them in that belief. Whereas those people who become successful, they learn successful beliefs, and they learn how to get rid of those errors. Okay. The second thing is that they understand principles and understand truths, and they learn them. They know the difference between a truth, and they learn the difference between an error, and they learn the difference between something that's true. All right. The third thing is they realize that having something as an output is not an input. And the fourth thing is that they seek mentors. They seek people that can help them learn faster, and they pay for it. Now, the reason why you should pay for something is because when you pay for something, you're going to pay attention. So if you're going to pay for the beginners program, you're going to make sure that your child is going to do it. You're going to make sure he attends classes. You're going to make sure that he does the lesson plans. He does all the assignments, because you want your child to be successful, because you're paying attention, because you're paying for it. Okay? And that's what I found out. When I started to pay my mentors, I made sure that I learned the stuff. Okay? So if you got anything out of this tutorial, hey, smash that like button and remember to subscribe, all right? And hey, I'll see you on the next Small Circle Jiu-Jitsu tutorial.